You're listening to the Guide Shack podcast. Whether you are a guide with a faded patch or someone who just bought their first pair of boots, this is your home base. This is where we swap stories that didn't make the highlight reel, talk gear that actually serves the brush, and protect the traditions of the North Woods.
So I was pulling into Toby's. This was a few seasons ago. It's a local tagging station. And I see this guy. He's got a buck in the truck, the bed of his truck. And I'm naturally curious, so I go over there to check it out. And I'm leaning over the tailgate there. And he comes over and he looks at me and I look at him. And I'm looking the deer all over, and I see, geez, it's been shot through the ear. It's missing an antler, and I can count 4 other bullet holes in that. That brings it to 6. And I kind of, have my own personal chuckle with it. I'm like, geez, you had to stop and reload to finish it off. It's pretty crazy, but he looks at me and he's beaming with pride, as he should be. But he goes, "What do you think that weighs?" And I look it over, and I like to think, everyone likes to think they're pretty good at it, but I'm pretty accurate at judging weight and size and whatnot. And I go, 165, 170, and he's all indignant. He, this is 200 minimum. And I kind of look at him funny, and he looks back at me, and he's clearly upset. So I go, okay. And we talked about what he shot it with. He shot it with a 243, a lot. So maybe it was 200 with all the lead weight in there. I don't know. But missing the antler probably hurt the weight just a little bit.
Just a bit.
Yeah. But I go in and I do what I'm going to do. And by the time that I come out, he's at the scales and he's got it all strung up. And it is 169, I think, is how much it weighed.
Yep.
I just gave him a wave and drove on.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Well, welcome back to the shack. What do you want to talk about today?
Turkey season.
Yeah, it's coming right. It's today for youth.
Youth Day. Yeah, Youth Day is today, tomorrow, and then open season Monday.
Yeah, I am excited to work opening day.
Yeah.
That's
it's a family tradition, I guess.
Yeah, I think it sure is. Work every opening day.
Yeah. But on the upside, at least we have closing day at work as well.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. So, what are you most excited for turkey season?
I'm not a huge fan of the spring turkey season just because of the temperatures. It's just a personal preference. I don't like to sweat while I'm hunting.
Yeah.
Just sitting there sweating. But really just getting out. It's a good way to bridge the seasons, We're coming out of the winter. Not a whole lot to do. You can walk through the woods, shed hunt, do some trapping.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like I don't know if it's a opener or a closer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying on that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for an archery turkey this year.
Yeah?
Yes, very much so. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
The trouble that I have is I am horrible at the mouth call.
Yeah.
It pretty much just sounds like me running 15 miles.
Oh, yeah, just wheezing.
Yeah, wheezing. So I think that's going to be my biggest hurdle to overcome because I have to use either the box or the slate, and I don't know if I'll be able to pull. I'm going to use my pop-up, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull them close enough with the slate or the box.
Yeah.
So that I think I might be able to overcome it where I'm at because it's pretty densely populated with turkeys in the spot that I'm getting to go out hunting this year. So with any luck, I will be 1+1 archery turkey.
Yeah. Now, are you using the The grabbing heads or the blunt heads, or
No,
what are you?
I'm actually gonna go with a broadhead
Yeah,
for it. I've seen a lot of good uh, good videos with just your fixed broadheads,
yeah.
and um, so I've already got it situated for deer hunting using the fixed broadhead, and I've heard that there's going to be zero bit of difference if I'm going turkey hunting with it.
Yeah,
So I'm excited for that.
nice.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. It'll be a good challenge, and that's what I'm looking for with it is for it to be a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if all else fails, then obviously I can go shotgun hunting.
Yeah, the old 12 gauge is calling.
Yeah, so plenty of options, and I do like. Um, I actually have better experience spring turkey hunting over fall turkey hunting,
Yeah,
getting them to come in.
yeah.
And again, personal. That's
Oh
just
yeah,
me
yeah.
personally. I've heard it go both ways for a lot of people. Some people have way better luck in the fall getting them to come in with calls.
Hmm.
But me personally, it's just been spring turkey is they're ready to rumble to
Yeah.
that call. I also got a new decoy.
Oh, nice. What'd you
Yeah,
go with?
no clue. I bought it off Chris.
Yeah. Hey, secondhand. He sold it because it works great, right?
He sold it because he doesn't turkey hunt. So
Oh,
I mean, it looks incredible. Like
yeah.
it looks very realistic.
Awesome.
Yeah, and he was saying it was something like $100, brand new,
Yeah.
and so it worked.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not opposed to secondhand,
Oh God, no, no. That's the
but
way to go.
yeah. So I'll see how that goes, and
Hmm.
definitely excited for it.
No.
And
Oh, sorry.
no, no,
Do you have any like a wing or a fan that you beat like that?
I don't.
No.
No, I do know a couple guys that's all they use
Yeah.
is just they harvested the fan from a turkey that
Hmm.
they had gotten, and they either stick it in the ground or they just fan it, and that's what they use. They don't use decoys.
Yeah.
They call, but they don't have a decoy setup.
Yeah. I have a couple of decoys that they're hollow on the inside
Mm-hmm.
and they collapse. I guess they're meant to pack in,
Mm.
but the problem is you get them all fluffed out when you're looking to use them, and the wind blows just right, and then they just roll right up around the stick.
Yeah.
And it's just, I thought about putting spray foam in them.
Mm.
I thought
Yeah,
that would do good.
yeah, it would get rid of the compact
Yeah, take away the
aspect of it,
memory a little bit.
but yeah.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. I'm also pretty excited for fiddleheads.
Fiddleheads, yes. I meant to go out today and look in those extra secret patches, the early patches.
The early
You
patches.
know.
I saw some for sale coming out here actually.
Yeah.
Yep. So obviously they're up if they're for sale.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah. We had a little bit of rain, and then the last day or two, the sun's been out. So I really think that helps.
yeah, yeah. And I tell you what, there's just something that really hits the palate when you throw some fiddleheads, a little bit of vinegar, real butter. It's got to be real butter.
Yeah.
Can't be the old blue bonnet
Yeah. No. No. No.
with a nice deer steak meal.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man.
So what I've always done is I pick probably, I don't know, 2 pounds or so,
Mhm.
just for me, and I eat them as soon as I can.
Yes.
Eat them right fresh. Because for whatever reason, it doesn't seem like they freeze up very good for me. I've tried blanching them,
Mm.
and a fellow that I know said, don't blanch them,
Mhm.
just pat them dry and throw them in a freezer bag and freeze them, and that's the best way that he's done it. So I think I might take one of my bags and freeze it
Try it.
this
Yeah.
year. Yeah, just
Have you
try it
ever
out.
done pickled fiddleheads?
No, but I hear that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
I mean, if you like pickles.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good point. If you like pickles, I had some that they pickled it, but they added a little bit of red pepper to it.
Yeah.
so it had a little bit of a kick to it.
Yeah.
I noticed the next morning, but
Yep. The
but
only flavor you taste twice.
yeah, yeah. Overall, it was good though.
Yeah.
Surprisingly good. You never expect just grabbing a vine out of the woods or a plant out of the woods and
Oh
throwing it
yeah.
in a jar with pickling stuff, and it tasted pretty good.
But that's what everything was originally. It was just a plant in the woods. It didn't kill us. We just eat it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Ticks though, when you're out picking fiddleheads,
yeah,
or turkey hunting for that matter, or even just walking in the woods.
yeah. The ticks. I picked one off me in the truck coming over here.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it wasn't actually.
No, no, no.
I hadn't really gone out and done anything. It must have come off the dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was driving over and I felt something tickling the back of my neck, and lo and behold, it was a tick.
Yeah.
It's like, man, oh man.
Oh, I bet I've had probably 30 on me so far this year. There was only one that bit in,
Yeah.
but thankfully no Lyme disease yet.
Right? That you know of.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. The but they are pretty bad this year. Have you ever tried permethrin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I have quite a bit of the permethrin on a lot of my hunting stuff. I'll spray it on there, let it dry, and use that. I try not to do anything that'll touch my skin.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Bad news.
Yep. I've heard as long as you let it dry, then it's okay if it touches your skin. But I wouldn't use it on underwear or socks.
No, nothing that touches the sensitive areas.
Right. Yeah. But so I'm pretty excited for the turkey, the fiddleheads. That's
Yeah.
now that you say it, I really want to get out and do some fiddlehead picking.
Oh yeah, fiddleheading. Keep on shed hunting. I know that the greenery is coming in, so it makes it a little harder to find them. But keep on doing that.
Yeah.
Follow some trails. It's the fishing guiding's picking up quite a bit.
It is. Yeah. It's coming to a good season. It's weird how the water level in certain spots is actually high, and in some spots it's low.
Yeah.
It's baffling me because there are a few good spots that I tend to go this time of year that just usually, I mean, it's stocked and it's right close by, so I love hitting it, getting the casting arm back into where it needs to be, but it is bone dry.
Yeah.
But you look further up river and it is just a screaming.
I think what we're facing is we're still in a drought left over from last year,
Yeah.
where we did not have much for water at all. Right up through the fall, we didn't have much water. So you'll have a lot of these larger bodies of water just replenishing.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have screaming water flows into them and then not so much out.
Right.
If it's an outlet stream or something like that, then
that'll
suffer.
Makes a lot of sense. And hopefully we get, it's supposed to rain all this weekend and all next week pretty much. So I hope we get closer to where we need to be. I was looking yesterday in the news. It said that we needed 11 inches in our area to catch up to where we needed to be.
Yeah.
So that's
quite a bit.
It's quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I got 2 at my house yesterday.
Yep.
So 9 inches now, but
yeah, still
we might be able to do that throughout the month.
Yeah, as long as we get the rain before the grouse start laying their eggs and hatching their little ones there.
Right. Yeah, because it would put a real hurt on the season for them.
Yeah.
Which has seemed to have gotten a hurt put on it for the past few years.
So there was one thing I did want to talk about with you at some point. I mean, it wasn't slated for today, but it was grouse.
Yep.
So what I have noticed is that you ram the roads, and you don't see anything. But when you get out,
Yeah.
they're everywhere. So I didn't know. Do you know how the moose smartened up
Hmm.
to people hunting roads? Is it possible? Would you think that the grouse population would do the same?
Uh, yes. I think that so, and I'm taking a second to try and word this correctly in my mind before I try and explain it. Um, More often than not, your families stick together. So, like your parents, they tend to stick to the same area. Then comes the fall flush, where they flush out their young from their covey, and they go out and find their different area. So if you have them, you've already flushed them off the road, the parents,
Mm-hmm.
they've created their area further back in the woods, and now they're going to flush their young, but it's going to be further back into the woods. It's not going to be on the roadside like it used to be because you have nonstop traffic up there now. And no fault to anybody's, but people want to get out and experience the woods.
Yeah.
So they're driving the logging roads. They're going and they're looking for moose. They're looking for wild animals. They're looking for whatever they can. They want to be part of nature,
Mm-hmm.
but they also don't want to get lost. So
Right.
the easiest way to not get lost is to stay on the road.
Right.
So I think by exposure, they've smartened up and they've pushed further back into the woods. Same thing with the moose. I think that they've been pushed further back into the woods because, come moose season, everybody's on the roads. You have
Yep.
multiple different hunting seasons going on at the same time. So you have a lot more traffic. And then they find these areas that are peppered with good, nutritious food. They
Yep.
have good cover. They have everything that they need, and they don't need to be roadside anymore.
Yeah.
At least that's my thoughts. I mean, I'm by no means a biologist, so,
Yep.
but it makes sense in my mind, and that's what I think is happening. Is
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
you know, it's a combination of both. They've smartened up, but they've also been pushed off by us.
Right. Right. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing,
Mhm.
more or less. They've been pushed for so many generations at this point that maybe the younger stragglers come, out to the road for some gravel.
Mhm.
Because I did notice that most of the ones that you take off of the roads now are smaller.
Very
And
small.
then, when we're deep in the woods, be way back in next to a brook or whatever it
Mhm.
is, that they're like flying footballs. You know, scare the heck right out of you.
I did notice, and that was the best way to get them last year was to find your older or the stream beds.
Yeah,
But last year they were all dry, so they
right.
weren't really stream beds.
Yeah, I was going to say
And,
that was probably something to do with a lot of it. Is all that nice gravel was exposed.
right,
You know?
and they didn't have to come roadside to
Yep.
get what they needed. And I had a lot of luck, not necessarily roadside, still roadside,
Yep.
but 100 feet off the roadside.
Yep.
I didn't have to go a quarter mile back into the woods
Yeah.
and go hunting for them. I, but you had to open your eyes up, look off the side, look for good sign, good cover, water source, food source, and then I would hop out, put boots on the ground, and go, which is hard for a lot of people because you know you you do have an older population that likes to grouse hunt
Oh,
because
absolutely.
of
Yeah.
the nature of it, where you're able to just ride around and hunt.
Yep. Yeah, and it's not just older, but younger too. I get my boys into grouse hunting a little bit,
Mhm.
and what better way than to just, sit and look at the leaves and watch for birds.
It's truly a family activity
Yeah.
because you get something for everybody, and you know you can go up and you can see some of the most beautiful scenic overlooks while that you're driving around grouse hunting.
Hmm.
And especially early season grouse hunting, certain areas the fishing overlaps, So you get the best of both worlds. You can go out, you can grouse hunt in the morning, you can fish a little bit in the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fun for the family. If you have a significant other or kids that don't like doing either, you still get out and you get to see the scenery. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's overall, I think that's one of my most favorite times of the year
Oh
is
God,
is
yes. Yeah.
getting out and doing that.
I have been experimenting with springtime cast and blasts, though.
Yeah,
You
doing
know,
turkey and yeah.
turkey and trout. Yeah.
Mm.
As I mean, we're closing in on some nice hatches starting up um, for fishing,
Yes.
and I guess for turkey, but that's a little later, you know.
Right.
But yeah, different type of hatch.
Right. Yeah. The mayflies are starting to come out. Stoneflies are probably pretty active right about now.
Yep.
Um,
So much to do, so little time.
there really is. Speaking of fishing, the what do you think about the right to food that's going on? If I'm wording it correctly.
Yeah, yeah, and I know where you're going with
Yeah.
this. Um, right to food is a very important um, constitutional amendment that just passed. You know, it gives us a guaranteed right to get all of what we need to provide for our families, right?
Right.
Within the law.
Yes.
But the problem comes with that whole right to food amendment when people decide to alter the law a little bit. At
Right.
least, maybe it's a problem, maybe it's not.
Mhm.
From my perspective, it's kind of a problem,
Yep.
especially in this one instance that I'm thinking of, which is the lawsuit um, to kind of get rid of the fly fishing only waters.
Yes. Yep. And that's where I was going with that question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I figured.
So what's your thought on that?
Okay, so we'll look at it both sides, right?
Mhm.
The argument is that the average working guy does not have the time to get the skill required to fly fish.
Mhm.
They do not have the means, the funds
Mhm.
to acquire the equipment required to fly fish.
Right.
So they should be allowed to use a spin cast
Mhm.
on all the fly fishing only waters. Now, I don't know if that would be extend to artificial lure only or transfer to artificial lure only, or if they are looking to just have live bait on everything. I'm
Right.
not sure.
Mm.
But I know from my experience, a $8 lure
Mhm.
cost an awful lot more than my 75-cent fly.
Right.
I have seen plenty of fly rods, and I've used plenty of fly rods that cost less than most spin casts do.
Mhm.
As far as the skill required, if you've ever learned how to jump rope, then
Mhm.
you can roll cast.
Right.
You know, and the detriment that this would have to a lot of the fly fishing only waters, which are mostly catch and release only.
Right.
Well, when you take one hook, tiny little hook,
Mhm.
especially a barbless hook, a lot of
Yep.
these waters are barbless only.
Right.
You take that in a lip, or you take a honking treble hook.
Yeah.
There's a mortality, and
There is.
that
Yeah.
would really defeat the purpose because these are all waters that hold native populations.
Correct. And I think that's the biggest issue I have with it is you take um, something that, and we'll go with worms right off,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I use when I'm talking, what I use when I'm talking with people about this. So typically, a worm, the trout becomes a little bit more aggressive, and you're going to have a deeper hook set in that. It might
Mm-hmm.
be in the tongue, it might be further back in the jaw. They might swallow it, and
Mm-hmm.
you have a gut hook. There's pretty minimal chance of survival from that.
Absolutely.
Also, like you said, the treble hooks. A lot of your spin cast hooks come preset with treble hooks. Um, there are some out there that certain manufacturers make a single hook. That's if I do spin cast, yes, if I do spin cast, I try to use those
Yeah.
for that exact reason. Is
Yep.
treble hook is definitely designed to catch. You will catch for sure.
Catch and keep. Yeah.
Yes, yes, catch and keep. If you were after catch and keep, a treble hook will make sure of that.
I tell you, I've had enough of those locked in me that I've almost given up.
Yeah,
Been like, okay, put me out of my misery, because it's no joke.
yeah, they are no joke. But that's where I think that people for tend to forget. And yes, there is some skill that you need to fly fish. I don't think that there is a huge difference in the amount of skill that you really do need between fly fishing and spin casting.
Right.
And like you said,
Different skills,
right,
but
but
not a different amount of skill.
right.
Yeah.
Um, Overall price, you're not looking at any more or less expensive of a hobby.
Right.
You can go to Walmart and get a Cortland rod or fly rod, and it's going to be less than an ugly stick.
Yep.
Right at the same store.
Oh yeah, and not that I'm a pro Amazon guy, but sometimes if you're getting into a hobby,
Mm-hmm.
that's where you want to go. And I know I've seen and used Amazon fly rods that cost $20-$30.
Oh,
You know.
absolutely. Kits, full kits. You
Oh,
you get
absolutely.
your
Yeah.
line, your reel. You get a case to go with it. You get the rod, and a lot of times they'll come with the the flies that you need.
Right. A handful of them. Yeah.
And they're not junk flies. They're like true to life. Like a lot of them come with your caddis.
Hmm.
That's a very common fly. And
Yeah. Yeah. You
so
can fish a caddis pretty much the whole season.
yes,
You know, and be very successful with it.
right. So I do disagree with that lawsuit, and I think that it would be very detrimental to the native brook trout population in the state and those fly fishing only waters.
Yep.
I think that um, if that were to pass, then these native fisheries would no longer be native.
Right.
Well, they'd still be native, but it would.
Well, the fishery would be native, but the fish in them, the population could not sustain that.
Yes, that's where I was going with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So to add another cog in the wheel, say it does pass,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's artificial lure only.
Mm-hmm.
So at least we get that. Soft plastics.
Oh, that is one of my personal pet peeves is a soft plastic,
Yeah.
and I understand that people need to fish within their budget sometimes. I really do. Um, and it's very cheap to go to wherever you get your fishing supplies and pick up a bag of soft plastics
Yep.
for $1.98 because that's cheaper than most artificial lures.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Yep.
However, the amount of uh, harm it causes to the fish population, and I never, I was always big into catch and release.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fish eater, but as I started guiding, people wanted to keep fish, obviously,
Hmm.
and that's when I really started seeing the soft plastics filling the stomachs
Right.
of the fish.
Yeah. You'll see a fish that's starving to death with a distended stomach. You cut them open, and it's all junk. It's all plastic.
Yeah, this winter, I ice fishing. I pulled soft plastics out of two fish right out of their mouth.
Yeah, because when you lose it off the hook, it just sinks to the bottom. Looks like something delicious for them to eat.
Right.
They'll eat that. Yeah.
And again, like I said, everybody has to fish, recreate within their means, and I understand that people they use those because of the price. However, that is one thing that I would like to see change.
Yep. Yeah. Go the way of the lead sinker.
Right, and change through education, not um, not not
Not government mandate.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you. And
Yeah. I see that.
yeah, because the moment that you have a government mandate on it, that's when it's going to affect people.
Mm-hmm.
And you're now telling people that they can't feed themselves because they can't afford XYZ.
Right,
And
right. But you know, jumping back to the fly fishing aspect of it,
mhm.
you can walk around, you can find feathers, you can make flies. They're not pretty, but
Right.
they work. That's the real secret to fly fishing is sometimes the ugliest flies catch the most fish.
Mhm.
You know, I've had ones that were essentially a feather with a piece of string just dangling
Yeah.
off it loosely, you know, off of a hook, and it seemed to catch and keep catching.
Right.
You know?
I have seen it time and time again, and this is one of the things that I teach while out guiding for especially people that are newer to fly fishing. People tend to focus most on presentation and, getting that right, cast, getting the right mend in their line,
Mm-hmm.
getting everything. Yes, that does play a part to it, but there's no bad cast.
Mm-hmm.
And people, they'll rip it right back through the water that they're trying to fish through
Yep.
to get that proper mend, get that proper presentation. Fish it through.
So
Fish every cast.
I will disagree with you. There are some pretty bad casts. I've made some very bad casts.
Okay,
But
yeah,
to your point, fish it through. Okay, it's a happy little accident, you know,
right.
and then make yourself a nice tree, bring it back, retrieve it, let it do its swing. And sometimes, as it swings around on what you think is a bad cast,
Mhm.
you laid it just right. So that gives it a little more life to it. And that's when they'll hit it.
Yes,
You know?
yeah, and I've noticed that it's a huge thing. Fish it through, and you're right. There are bad casts.
Yeah. Usually straight into the bushes.
Yeah, I should have worded it a little bit differently,
Yeah.
but fish it through. You don't always have to have a mended line. You're not. People get so focused on having the same presentation
Yep.
every single time that the fish will look up and say, "Why did that same fly do the same thing every single time that it's
Yeah.
come through here?"
And you also don't know how many people have been through there before you. You know, you take like on Cannebago,
Hmm.
right? The uh, river there, the upper river. Um, how many people go through that? When you and I went up there last year, we had maybe 30 people wade through right in front
Yes.
of us. And it's like, okay, they see the same fly fished the same way again and again and again.
Hmm.
And they get stuck with it and they know, oh, I'm not going to hit that again.
Right.
And then you come through and you do a little swing, or maybe instead of your upriver mend, you do a downriver mend,
Hmm.
or you do a up and a down to give it a little extra life in there,
Right.
you know, and that's it. That's what gets them.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
it worked for us last time we were up there. That's for
Oh
sure.
yeah, absolutely. Cleaned house.
Yeah, yeah, we did. That was a good trip. That was a really good trip.
So on the back to the fly fishing only thing,
Mhm.
not to keep dragging that out, but another thought that had popped into my head is the reason that I got into fly fishing
Mhm.
was because I could not remember all the laws on every single body of water. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Whether
Yes.
it was catch and release or a single hook or, you know, artificial lure or the limits. So I just got into catch and release, fly fishing, and I was covered. If I was allowed to fish it, I could do that.
Yes.
You know, so um, it's worth the time that it takes, the very little time that it takes, and the very little expense to cover yourself, really.
Hmm.
Because even if we got rid of the fly fishing only, right,
Right.
you're still barred by restrictions on limits, bag limits, size limits,
Hmm. Areas too.
areas.
I
Yeah.
mean, and that's one of the things that, I mean, holy cow. Uh, Unintentionally, I'm sure everybody's done it. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
you've fished, this incorrect artificial lure in
Yeah.
this spot, making it illegal
Yeah.
because you were, you know, 20, 30 feet over the line that,
Right.
the line was formed back in, 1980, and it was
or
painted on the tree back in
yeah,
1980, and now that tree is rotten.
right, gone, and
Yeah,
they never
gone.
repainted it. And there are some that are the confluence of two streams, right?
Yes.
So that could be different from one year to the next as far as the water volume coming through that
Mm,
pushes the confluence up a little bit, pushes it down. Maybe you're upstream and you drift down a little too far.
right.
There's a lot of gray area.
There is. And that helps, like you said, it helps eliminate that gray area
Mm-hmm.
of, you know, maybe you're fishing with a dry dropper and it's, a single hook area,
Yeah,
or a single fly area, I should say.
yeah,
That's the extent of what you have to worry about.
yeah, yeah. At the changing of it, I remember, or I think of punt guns.
Mm,
Do you know what you remember what a punt gun is, or you don't remember it, but you know what a punt gun is, right?
no.
It is a giant shotgun.
Hmm.
I mean, giant. And they used to use it in duck and goose hunting, um, and they'd just aim it at the sky,
Mm.
and they'd touch it off, and you'd have 30 birds drop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it would take up an entire boat. Some of them were just monstrous, and they'd touch it off. And that is acquiring food, is it not?
It is.
It is.
Mm.
So we could go back because a punt gun is a lot easier.
Hmm.
I mean, me with my working class schedule, I could go out, touch off a punt gun, and feed my family very easily. It requires no extra skill. It's very affordable because I could make one in my backyard in
Right.
theory,
Yeah.
not in practice. We don't
Right.
do that in practice, um, but that has been illegal since I don't know exactly what year, but we'll say at least 100 years.
Hmm.
At least 100 years, undoubtedly more, because it's unsporting and overall, it's not good for conservation.
Right.
And we want the species that we hunt or fish to be around in
Hmm.
the much the same form that they are now. So yes, we could restock all these waters again and again.
Right.
Um,
But that, and again, when it comes to stalking, there are multiple different um, factors in all of this.
mhm.
You're right. We can stalk, but that stalked species isn't the identical native strain to that body of
Oh God, no,
water.
not even close. It's the
And
generic bathtub version.
right, and we want that conservation of that species to remain in that water. We want that native species to breed
Right.
yearly, and we want it to repopulate that area.
Hmm.
We want it to maintain its native heritage fish in that spot.
Right.
And I think that if we just go in there willy nilly without a management plan, without a conservation plan, and just let people have their right to food
Hmm.
and eat whatever they want, fish however they want, then um, we're no we're just gonna destroy the fishery in
Oh,
its entirety.
absolutely.
And
Yep.
you know, um, I do get the concept of the right to food, but
Right.
we have to manage ourselves in that aspect and say we can't out eat the what we have to sustain ourselves.
Right. And we could expand this whole topic into preserving genetic diversity, right?
Hmm.
So if a virus comes through that attacks a certain variant or a certain subspecies of trout, if that subspecies happens to be the stocked subspecies
Right.
of brook trout, then we're in for some serious issues, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you get that diversity. It gives a more robust. Uh, trying to think of the exact term, but defense, I
Hmm.
guess. You know,
Right. Yeah.
um, so we could be preserving it through things we don't even understand right now, just by not fishing out and keeping our regulations for that body of water.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, damn it, disagree with me sometime.
No,
No,
can't.
no, it's hard to disagree, and
Yeah.
it is to our detriment because we're both working class
Hmm.
individuals, always have been, always will be, and it is tough to find the time to get out.
Hmm.
But what would be tougher is having the time to get out and having nothing to get out for.
Yes. Very. That is a very good point. And you know, we'll use any any form of hunting, any form of fishing. I love deer hunting,
Hmm.
but if the deer population takes a takes a dumper and whatever it may be, overhunting, famine, disease, whatever it may be that cleans them out, why why would I go after something that I'm not going to get?
Right, right,
Right.
yeah. We got to keep it around. We have kids, and
Hmm.
eventually they're going to be dealing with all the same stuff. Hopefully, you
Right.
know, or maybe not. Maybe by the time that our kids are old enough, people would have come to their senses a little bit, and they'd be more inclined to appreciate what we have. There are actually no other states with such a native strain. A lot of states of brook trout. A lot
Right.
of states don't have any native brook trout.
Because it has been overfished,
Right.
overharvested, you name it.
Yep.
Um, and which is a shame. We do have a very, very healthy population of native brook trout.
Yep.
Yep.
And hopefully we can keep it that way.
I agree. The let's see, uh, one one quick thing before we wrap it up. Um, what is your thought on the actual stocking program that we have?
Oh, one quick thing,
Yeah.
huh? So I have so many thoughts on that. The biggest thing is I am pro genetic diversity,
Hmm.
and the genetic diversity that we have
Hmm.
is zero. They are all the same hot batch of trout.
Right.
Um, so that poses a problem, and you don't see the 6-inch fully mature trout
Right.
because these ones are being bred to be, 20-inch fully mature brook trout.
Hmm.
So that kind of limits the success on where we can stock.
Yeah.
It's turned um, the whole stocking program into a put in take out. And I think that we really ought to be looking forward so that we can foster a self sustaining
Mm-hmm.
um, population.
Yeah. Do you think that we would be better off, especially where certain areas are obviously reduced flow, warmer conditions because of the reduced flow and all of that? Do you think we would be better off doing like a brown stocking or a rainbow stocking
Well,
over some of these brook trouts?
there's no question that browns are more resilient, especially to heat.
Hmm.
And as far as like a trophy fish, a brown fights amazingly,
Right.
and actually lives after you fight them.
Yes.
You get a good fight on a brook trout, and chances are you've killed it,
Yeah.
especially in the warmer water.
Right.
And it doesn't matter how good your release is. It doesn't matter wet hands or I only hooked him in the lip. He's just too stressed. He's going to
Yes.
die. Where the browns would would definitely be able to recover a lot better. But it goes back to what are we trying to preserve? Are we trying to preserve native fishery?
Hmm.
Are we trying to preserve um, the the original uh, aspect of that whole body of water, or
Right.
what are we going after? I do think that a lot of places through human intervention have become uh, a very good habitat for bass,
Yes.
which I am not one of those pro bass guys at all, uh, to say the least. But we could use some browns to try and choke out that population.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good option.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I agree with you. I think it would be a good option. I also think that maybe in the next episode we
Yeah.
expand on this a little bit more.
Absolutely. It's such a huge topic.
It
Uh,
is.
that's why I
Yeah.
laughed when you're like, one quick thing.
Yeah, you
No,
know,
this is like that's a
yeah,
big topic.
that is a big topic. Yeah, so why don't we expand on that like in the next episode? And
Absolutely. Yeah. And by that time, it'll be prime fishing season.
yeah,
So,
absolutely. So that'll be good. Yeah, do you have anything else?
no, no, not without digging into other episodes worth of topics. No, I guess that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess that's it for today. And if we don't see you outside, we'll see you back in the shack.